Woo! We're live. Okay, there's like a lot going on here. Yay! Oh my gosh. Okay. We are live. We are live. Happy Halloween, y'all. I just got off of TikTok Live where I showed you guys the whole process of putting together this glorious costume. And honestly, I want to wear this every day. I freaking am obsessed with it. Maybe I will. We'll see. Only time will tell. But here we are for the November energy update. And I was just doing a research, looking at the month ahead. And November feels really good. Like the first week may be a little rough because let's just dive right into it. And I will be doing my horoscopes for all 12 zodiac signs in another video. I'm just not, I might give you guys a little sneak peek. I'm just not feeling it tonight, but we'll see. I'm like already in this mode right now. So maybe this being here and being in this will just help me like roll with it. But it is a lot of energy and I want to research a little bit more before I do the horoscopes. Also, I have pinned in the, I don't know if it'll show up in the comments or not, but I've pinned in the live comments my Cash App. Please send a love offering if you feel called. It means a lot to receive donations from you guys. I love you all and I love your support and I appreciate you. So if you feel called, please send a little something my way, even if it's only $1. It helps a lot and I appreciate it so much. So let's get into November. I also have Venmo or PayPal if you want to send that way. Just let me know when I can give you guys that information. It's also, where is that live? I don't know. But my Venmo is AstroHD and my PayPal is my website email. So astrologyhumandesign@gmail.com. So let's get into November. We just had Mars go retrograde and I'm already feeling it. I really feel the just almost disassociation of energy. It almost feels like, wait, where am I? Like, it's almost like I'm just like in this kind of perpetual state of like disassociation, and grounding has been a really important practice for me right now heading into this retrograde. I mean, oh my God, I'm not a makeup pro. My lipstick is like all over the place, but we're just rolling with it. I'll probably keep making corrections throughout this whole thing because I'm a recovering perfectionist. So I have really been feeling this Mars and Gemini energy, and mostly probably because Gemini rules my chart. And it really feels like to me just aggression. Like that's how I felt it so much so far, is like aggression. And I've noticed on social media, especially like in the media too. I mean, Gemini rules the media. It rules communication. It rules how we communicate with each other, how we speak to each other, as well as our perceptions of reality and our belief systems. So all of that is going through a revamp right now. All of that is going through a slowdown so we can reassess and relook and take that kind of perspective, attunement almost is what it feels like getting attuned to a new kind of perspective and really choosing to see things from both sides and really starting to question more things, really starting to assume less and question more and bring curiosity to more conversations is really what Gemini is all about. And with Mars being there right now and it going into retrograde literally yesterday, it's like that is all starting to slow down, and we're starting to take that internally. We're starting to reflect on, oh my gosh, why am I getting so angry at this person on social media right now? Why am I getting so angry that this thing's going on with Kanye? Why am I getting so angry that people still don't seem to know that the vaccine can cause death? Like, we're really starting to see how all of these things that we've been fed in the media, right? Gemini rules the media, how all of these things we've been fed, one, aren't true. Two, are just one perspective of life, right? That's what really Gemini brings to the conversation, is like, okay, there's not one universal truth, which is like what Sagittarius's MO is like, no, there's one truth and this is it, like shooting that arrow right towards this one cosmic perspective and universal truth. Gemini is more like, okay, what are the different sides of this conversation? What are the different sides of this truth? Like, why does this person say this? Why does this person believe this, right? We're getting more curious, we're getting more reflective, and it's also creating this kind of energy of what we need to reflect on as it relates to our belief systems and our perceptions of reality, so that we can move forward with new belief systems and new perceptions that are going to serve us in the long term versus just the kind of short instant gratification energy. So that's really how we're leading into November and with this retrograde. And I don't want to go too much into it in this video because I did do a whole video on Mars retrograde. And I gave horoscopes for each of y'all's rising signs that you can go check out and watch if you want to learn more about what this Mars retrograde and phase will be for your specific zodiac sign. Excuse me. But we're just know that we're starting the kind of end of the year with that energy. And there might be some like, because not everyone has the ability or knows how to take their reflections internal. So there might be some projection, there might be some emotional reactivity, there might be some like literal aggressive conversation. And I talked about this in I just uploaded some new classes to my Astro HD membership. And one of them was on having retrograde planets in the birth chart and what that means for you if you have certain planets retrograde in your natal chart. And Mars, when people have Mars retrograde in the natal chart, it can kind of cause this like over exertion of energy. It can cause this like overly like macho, like, let me prove myself, let me like, well, like it's like this almost like super outward aggression, because again, not everyone is like knows how to or has the tools to be able to take that inward and reflect on that and integrate why that energy is showing up for them in that way. And that's kind of the energy that we're in right now and going into in the middle of the end of the year. So it feels like there might be some just like honestly, I feel like especially with this first week of November and how the transits are looking, stay off social media, like take a cleanse. Remove yourself from social media or just like observe, and don't allow yourself to get riled up or get emotionally reactive by things you see on social media, because that is a very big, and I have like literally fallen to this energy. So I'm speaking from literal experience here as a 1-3 profile who has to throw themselves into the fires to learn what actually, to take that back and internalize it and be like, oh, okay, like let's reflect on that and see like, what do I need to like do more of that I'm not giving myself, that I'm like wanting to project onto my situation, right? Or my scenario, like on the outside world. So that's kind of like the energy right now as we gear up for the first week of November. So we just had the sun moving to gate 44, which is interference and coming to meet. So there might be some just interference with our connections, but there's also a great opportunity this week to meet new people, to start new connections, or to strengthen connections that you've created, or that you've kind of like are in the building phase of the relationship dynamic, is kind of what this week has the potential for. And then really the week that, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is so like Mars and Gemini. Reel it in. So what else we have going on this week is we have Venus on the 5th of November opposing Uranus. And I want to side note as well too, because I've been getting a lot of questions from you all of what I use to look at the transits. This is what I use. This is an astrological planner. I will have a discount code available for you guys soon. Actually, I might have it already. I gotta check on it and see if I got approved. But it's called Magic of Eye if you just want to go ahead and order one. I freaking love them so much. I've used this for 2 years and I love it. It's what I use to not only like plan out my, just like schedule things and write things down for when I have appointments and things, but and readings, but also I use it for these videos. I use it to look at the transits and see what's going on. It doesn't tell you anything about them. It just gives them to you. So like, I'll show you all. It just lists them all out, and then I'm adding my interpretation. but I really, really, really love this planner. And like I said, highly recommend it. And I will have a discount code soon, which I'm really excited about, like working with them, because it's been a dream of mine for many years. So November 5th, we have Venus opposing Neptune, which is going to cause a little bit of tension between our relationships, maybe financial things as well, and how we've been making innovation and changes to our lives. This could also be a time where unexpected money comes in. There's like just unexpected surprises and just like random things happening when it comes to receiving money, maybe even spending money. When it comes to meeting new people, like I said, relationships, we're still in a Venus year until we move into 2023. So the end of this year is really going to be a wrap up of all things Venus, right? Relationships, self-worth, financial picture in our lives, our values as well. So really, we're in a time right now of manifesting all of the things we've been setting intentions around as it relates to those 4 things I just listed. We're really in a time of creating that on the external. Like if you've been calling in a partner or new friendships, like this is the time of year. This is the kind of transit where it's going to come in, and it's going to come in rapidly and unexpectedly, and it's going to take you by surprise. Could also be money, just random money showing up like out of nowhere. You're just like, oh my God, where did this check in the mail come from? Or, oh my God, I just got this new opportunity and this promotion or this bonus or whatever. Like that's kind of how I'm sensing this energy too. And again, I'm more on the like, how is this going to affect the people that are meant to see this, that resonate with me, more so than like, how is this going to affect the collective and how we're going to see this transpire in the news and things like that. So just know that that's my lens that I'm looking through, is like, I'm tuning into your energy. If you're watching this and you resonate with my content, I'm tuning into your energy and seeing what's possible for you. As a fortune teller naturally does. So yeah, that's on the 5th. So this whole week is going to be a kind of week of like shock and surprises and things just kind of coming into fruition that are like, oh my God, I did not see that happening in that way, or something happening around a manifestation that you've been really setting intentions around and had as a desire for a really long time that finally comes in. Then on the 6th, right after that transit, we have Venus squaring Saturn. So that might be a little bit of friction, a little bit of some challenge coming in around, maybe what you want to create, right? You want to build a business, let's say. Let's use an actual example. You want to start this business or you have started it and you're like, well, I could be more committed. I could be more disciplined. I could like show up more and do more things to like get it moving forward more and more quickly and bring in more money for myself, but I've just kind of been procrastinating and lazy and yada, yada, yada. This is the day where something's going to happen where it's like, okay, we got to get serious about this. We got to be disciplined. We got to like commit to doing something to move this forward in the direction that I want it to go, right? It's like, it's almost like the make or break of like, are you going to go back to that cushy 9-to-5 job, retail job, whatever you were doing before? Or are you going to really decide that you want your business to work and go for it, right? It's like, this is going to be the make or break point on the 6th, where it's like, again, something happens and there's no going back. And you're like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to go back. So we're going to like stay disciplined and committed to this path now. And I'm going to do everything I can to not procrastinate, to take the action, to just do the things. And a perfect example of this is like me today. Like I was feeling, and this is so classic too, of being in direct determination that I am. My brain turns on at night. I like only want to do things at night now because I've conditioned myself to live my determination. I've conditioned myself to sleep in and stay up late and not eat during the day. I've conditioned myself to live this way and there's no going back. And so but I can still fall into that trap sometimes where it's like, oh, I should do things during the day because like the lighting and like most people are like watching content during the day, all these little like lies that I tell myself that come in, right, that aren't mine, that are just conditioning. And so I was like, you know what, I want to do a YouTube live today. I want to dress up. It's Halloween. Like I want to be dressed up when I do this live because that would be really fun. And like I spent so much work putting this costume together. There's no way I'm only wearing it one time. Like, let's be real. And then like I woke up today and I was like stressed out when I woke up. If you guys saw my Instagram stories, I talked about how I felt a little just like pressured today because I had something scheduled at a certain time and I didn't want to like wake up right before, and like that caused me to not sleep all night really well. And then I just woke up tired, and then I was like tired all day, and then I tried to take a nap and I don't know, I couldn't. I was just like wired up. And then night comes and I'm like, you know what? I kind of feel like just like I could easily sit here on my bed and order Uber Eats and watch Vampire Diaries and not do anything. But also I really kind of want to dress up. Like it's Halloween. Like I want to do this YouTube live. And like I had said I was going to do it earlier in the day, but I just like was not feeling it. And then what I had scheduled ended up being like not happening for another 30 minutes. So it was like just this whole thing, right? And I could have easily made an excuse as to why I just should not go live at all and just do it another day. But I chose to like get dressed, to put this on. I chose to go live on TikTok and show you all like my putting on all my makeup and like getting ready. And then I chose to get off of TikTok live and come on here and do this for you guys right now. And like I said, I could have easily watched Vampire Diaries and not done anything. But there would have been something in me that was like, it doesn't feel right. You know, like this is like what my energy is made for, is to do things like this for you guys and to teach classes, to do these monthly updates that I give. Like this is what I love doing. And there just would have been, I just know it. I would have had trouble sleeping tonight. I would have like just felt this kind of like lackluster. And I literally heard from my spirit team, they were like, yeah, you could not do it. But if you don't do it right now, the energy is going to fade and then you're going to regret it. Right? Because Halloween's not going to come again, like till next year. And so that's a real life example from my life of how important it is to take action when we get those hits, right? That was probably my spleen being like, do this right now, like be spontaneous. Like, I know you said you wanted to do it earlier and it didn't work out, but like, that doesn't mean you have to cancel it altogether or do it like sometime else this week, because right now is perfect for you because you have the energy for it now that it's night, right? Now that it's night, I have way more energy than I did during the day when the sun was out. So here I am. Okay. What I don't like about this planner is it doesn't tell you the nodes on the transits. It doesn't include the nodes. So I'm going to look up, going to pull up my astrology chart here. Not my chart, but like the current transit chart, and go through and use this as well as a reference. And if you're just hopping on, there is a donate link. My Cash App link is in the comment section. It's pinned at the top. If you feel called to show some love to my Cash App, I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, so we're looking at the 6th. I know that Venus is going to be conjunct the South Node this week. Moon is going to be conjunct Chiron that same day as well. So this weekend might be a little rough, y'all. Like this weekend might be exhausting. It might be like, whew, okay, something really needs to go from my life. And again, for you, that might be procrastination. That might be just letting go of the story of things are hard, or letting go of something that there's emotional attachment around, right? Because this is Scorpio. We have, actually, I will share my screen so you guys can also see what I'm looking at. So this is what I'm looking at over here, this whole Scorpio mass. And look at where Scorpio is in your chart for the area of life this is going to impact for you. For me, this is in my 2nd house, so there might be like some just material possessions. I am releasing maybe a form of income creation, maybe an attachment to some sort of income. I don't know. We will see. I feel like I've kind of moved through that with the new moon eclipse, but this will kind of be a final triggering of it. It's like, okay, what did the new moon show to you? And now what really needs to be let go of. Like, what's the, like, okay, we're like putting it in the fire. Like, it's gone, it's done. I was shown that I need to, or I like knew that I need to let go of it at the time of the new moon, but I was still holding on for whatever reason. It might even be a belief system, because we have Mercury here. I feel like for a lot of you, it's going to be a belief system. It's going to be a perception of reality. And right now, oh, this is how it applies to me actually, is like I'm releasing the story of like making the money that I currently have mean anything about what's possible for my future. Because literally, we live in a world of magic, and our physical world has kind of illusioned us from the world of magic that we really live in. But we still live in the world of magic, and it's anything is possible. Anything is possible. And it really just comes down to what you believe and what you're allowing yourself to believe around what's possible that's creating your reality. And this is what Mercury and Gemini have to teach us, is how do your beliefs, how do your thought patterns, does your speech, even your words that you're saying, your words that you're writing, your thoughts that you're thinking contribute to the creation of your literal reality. So I feel like there's a big release around that this weekend. And I know for my fellow Libra risings out there, it's going to be around money. It's going to be something releasing an old pattern, an old belief around money. Maybe even like believing that some, money just randomly coming in isn't possible for you. Like, all of that is a lie. All of that is a lie. And you get to choose what you believe. You get to choose what you think. You get to choose what you believe. I mean, a belief is just a thought you keep thinking. You are the creator of your reality, and you get to choose what you're thinking that's creating your beliefs, that's creating your reality. And it all stems back to what you're telling yourself inside of your head, and also how you're speaking about things to other people. So really watch your communication, watch your thought patterns. I talked about this somewhere else. It might have been in my last update I did for you all on Mars and the new moon, where I talked about, yeah, it was, because I did this during one of the horoscopes. I think it might have been Cancer rising. But this woman, I follow this woman on TikTok, and she was saying that every time she would have a thought that was like, oh my God, this isn't going to work out, she would reframe it to something positive. And eventually she just kept doing that, reframe every single time. And then she's like, guys, I can't even think a negative thought anymore. Like, it's wild how that just happened because of repetition and changing my habits of my thoughts. And so that's a literal perfect example of what this weekend will be like. I feel is like, okay, what's coming up for you in the area of life that you have Scorpio, and how can you reframe those thoughts and choose a new reality starting with your thoughts? And it really is that simple. Like, so many people that hate on law of attraction and manifestation and law of assumption say, oh, it's not that simple. Like, it is. Because those thoughts will kickstart actions that are going to propel you in that direction of what you're creating. It all starts with your thoughts. And I feel like I am ranting at this point, but one of you or all of you needed to hear that. So let me know how that resonated with you in the comments and what you're reframing. Let me know. And send donations if you feel called to my Cash App. Love you guys. So with the South Node here, that's what the theme of this weekend is going to be, is like release. Might be a really tiring week. It might be a really tiring weekend. So if you need to rest, you need to take some Epsom salt baths, let yourself relax, let yourself chill out. Because after this weekend, after this week, and the weekend that follows this week, things are going to ramp up pretty quickly, I feel like, because we have, and this is where human design comes into this. We have had the South Node in the first gate. And the first gate is all about self-expression, expressing yourself, from the place of your true self, to build a solid and a strong foundation in who you are, so you can move forward as yourself through life in more harmony and more success and more alignment. And then we get to gate 2, which is the keeper. Wait, is that what it's called? Or is it called the driver? the channel, the 214 channel is called the Keeper of the Keys, which will be in transit for a little bit, I think. I'm gonna look at that in a second. But the north node is in the second gate. The south node is in the first gate. So we're releasing everything that we've had, especially, like I said, emotional attachments to our image, the image of ourself. And we're stepping into a new direction. And this is, I was talking about this a lot back in August when we had the Mars Uranus North Node conjunction, which hasn't happened since 1840 or 1850. So it's been a long fucking time since Mars and Uranus and North Node. Honestly, back then, I think it was just Mars and Uranus that were conjunct in Taurus. But that happens every 2 years. Mars North Node Uranus doesn't happen often at all, arguably once every 200 years, if not more. So this, since August, like really think back to August, like how's your life been since August? Because for me, I've been in this like transition, like we're all in this transition right now, and it's going to solidify with this full moon in Taurus on the 8th. Let's actually bring up my, let's see, what time is that at? 4:02. So we're looking at a little bit earlier in this day. So right after this weekend, we have the full moon in Taurus, which is a partial, oh no, it's a total, oh my gosh, my West Virginia is coming out right now. Total lunar eclipse. It will only last a minute. I think this means a minute. Yeah, a minute and 25 seconds. But this is huge, guys. Like think back to when we had the new moon in Taurus. Let's see, when would that have been? I can't do anything with these freaking nails on. They're like literal claws. The new moon in Taurus was April 30th. That's right after my birthday. So think back to the end of April. What were the intentions you were setting? Probably around money too, because Taurus rules finances and money. So this total lunar eclipse on the 8th of November on Tuesday morning, Monday night, Tuesday morning. Oh yeah, it's really close to the North Node and Uranus. This is like what I was talking about with the unexpected finances, the unexpected person, the unexpected friendship, things just like finally solidifying because we've been in transition for so long. Like this is the energy of solidification. Okay. Like full moons are times of manifestation. It's times when what you set intentions around 6 months ago with the new moon in Taurus, this is when it comes into fruition. This is when it manifests. This is when it happens. So there is something big coming in for all of us early next week that is going to literally be like the fuel to your rocket ship. I've been talking about this all year. Like we've been on this rocket ship, and like this past couple months we didn't know if we were going to have enough fuel to keep going. But this full moon is like, oh shit, we just found a new store of fuel. Like we're good. Like let's send it like full speed ahead. Like that is this energy of like, we're moving forward in this new direction. It's solid. We're no longer in this like limbo, weird transition. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going. I'm waiting on this job. I'm waiting on this house. I'm waiting on this. I'm waiting on that. No more after this full moon. No more waiting. Like I feel like this is the time, maybe a few days after, it could be up to a week after, again, depending on where you are in your journey and your beliefs. That's going to create everything, your thoughts and your beliefs. But really, if you've been doing the work, if you've been reframing your beliefs, if you've been like really sitting in this faith energy and this trust energy of like, I don't care how it comes. I don't need to know how or when or why or whatever. It's coming. And with that certainty, this is the time when it's possible for it to come in. I don't care what anyone else is saying about this full moon. Like, this is what I feel on a grander, bigger picture scale is like, and you know, it's going to look different for everybody. It might be emotional instability. It might be like that kind of, again, another make or break point where it's like, do I really want to keep banging my head up against the wall, or do I want to move in this new direction? I want to move in this new direction. Let's fucking go for it. That's what this full moon energy is feeling like to me. And like I said, it's in gate 2. It's in the gate of the driver. These gates, the first gate and the second gate, are in the G center. And we have, what other gates are in the G center right now? Let me literally pull up my website and look at the transits. If you haven't seen, y'all, you can view the current human design transits on my website. If you go to free chart, my free chart tab, it will show you the current transits. And it's in beta mode, so, you know, it's not perfect, but I'm really excited about it because it also shows you Chiron's current transits, which you can't really get anywhere without doing a bunch of research. I just love the chart calculator on my website. It makes me happy. Anyways, what else do we have in the G center right now? We have 13. We have Saturn just moved back into 13. We have, what's in 25? Jupiter is in 25. So there's a lot of G center activation right now. And the G center is, do you guys know this? Do you guys have my ebook? Do you know this? It's the seat of the magnetic monopole, which is what is driving you through life, what is driving you through time and space. It is literally the driver of your vehicle that is getting you to where you're meant to go, which is your life purpose. So we are in this energy of this big directional shift and pivot. And this is the week where it starts to actually like make sense and things actually start to come in. I have 2 individual channels going from my crown to my throat. And those channels can create a lot of melancholy. And I've really been up and down that melancholy avenue. Oh, that was a really fun reference. For the past several months, be in this transition. I'm like, okay, but I want to do this. I want to go in this direction. Like I created this thing. I want it to like be successful. I want it to work. Like I really want to get this out to the world and get this to people. And like, I felt like this, it's just like all this kind of, you know, the doubts and the confusion and the transitional energy is just like, can have a tendency to take over. And then the melancholy is like, you know, but this is like what all of that was for. And we're going to see, it might take a little bit, maybe like a week or 2 or a month or 2 to see like why that all had to happen the way that it did. But this is when things are going to start to come in, is this full moon on the 8th. Powerful, powerful time. You know, people, this is really what the eclipse seasons are all about, is change. And especially since we have Uranus here conjunct the moon and North Node on the full moon, it's like this change is gonna feel unstable. It's gonna feel rocky. It's gonna feel also sudden. It's gonna take us by surprise. It's gonna be like, oh shit, I could not have saw that coming. Like, thank you, God, for knowing the bigger plan and taking care of it for me, because if I had known that was going to come that way, I don't think I could have lived my life in the present moment. You know what I mean? It's like, this is big energy. This is big energy. And 2, now that Jupiter is back into Pisces, this is the placement in the transit, Jupiter and Pisces, of miracles, guys. Like there is a beautiful potential and possibility for some really big, really amazing, really life-altering miracles right now. And if you're in that energy, it's going to come to you faster than you can probably just like take it in. That's really what the second week and then on for November feels like to me. And that's why I was saying that the energy of November feels really good. And I'm really excited about November, because though we're going to have maybe a kind of slower week ahead, the first week of November, things will really start to ramp up really quickly and take us by surprise. And then things will no longer be the same again, like ever. So that's something to look forward to. Let me look at the human design stuff, see if I'm missing anything. Oh yeah. Uranus is going to be in 2.4 opportunities. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting, so exciting, so exciting. Random hits, random insights coming in, because Venus will be in 43 from the 7th to the 11th. Yeah, I'm so excited for next week. Okay, let's see what else we got going on. We got a lot of stuff opposing Uranus. I mean, naturally, since it's in Scorpio, Uranus is in Taurus, the sister sign, the opposite sign of Taurus is Scorpio. So we have a lot transiting through Scorpio. So there's going to be a lot opposing Uranus, which is going to kind of cause this like just tension. There might be tension before. It's almost like the rubber band. You know, it's like we're pulling back the rubber band and then we snap it and it's released and all of a sudden shit's changed, right? That's kind of this energy. It's like there might be tension there. You might feel a little bit like of oscillation, of pull, of like, especially as it relates to, like I said, your belief systems and releasing, you know, the ones that really don't serve you. And then that will really create this miracle energy, this innovative energy, this change energy coming in. And because we have a lot in fixed signs too, with everything transiting Scorpio right now, things are going to be squaring Saturn, which just went direct. Or will be going direct. Wait. Did I miss Saturn going direct? When did Saturn go direct? Am I losing my mind? Yeah, Saturn went direct on the 22nd. Oh my gosh. I forgot about that transit. Oh, so don't I of me. So yeah, we have Saturn direct now. We're going to have things squaring Saturn. So again, there's going to just feel like this, like, why is this happening? Like, it's going to feel like things are hard. It's going to feel like there's challenges, right? But challenges create growth. Challenges and friction create growth and they propel us. You know, it's like, again, the rubber band example. It's like the tension propels us in a new direction. And like, where's the rubber band going to go when you release it? Who fucking knows? There was tension. It has momentum. It has power. Now it's just going to go wherever it needs to go, right? That's like our energy right now is like, we don't know where we're going. We don't know what we're doing, but we're just being directed by spirit. And yes, things might seem hard, seem challenging, but really zoomed out in hindsight, they're not. They're like in the future, I mean, down the road, you're going to be like, I'm so glad that happened that way. I'm so glad I went through that because it really shaped me to be the person who I am. It really led me here. It really, yada, yada, you know, it's like, think of the future version of you that's going to be so grateful that all happened the way that it did and that it didn't come in sooner because there was more things you needed to learn and integrate before all that came in, right? So that's kind of to the energy of right after the full moon is when we're going to be feeling that the most. And then we have Venus entering, Venus trine Jupiter on the 15th. That's going to be a fun transit. Venus sextile Pluto on the 13th. So like the 13th, the 15th I'm feeling it, guys. I'm feeling like things are really going to start to come in after this full moon. Like, and it's going to take all of us by surprise. I almost feel like a broken record at this point for saying that over and over again. Then on the 15th, right after Venus trines Jupiter and Pisces, we have Venus entering Sagittarius, which feels like a really just fun energy. Like it feels like a lot of us are going to want to start to like really get out more, maybe start a new area of study, maybe start a new kind of like travel blog or like travel board on Pinterest and like just kind of want to get out more is what that feels like. Because really, like I said, the first kind of 2 weeks of November are like, well, the first week is like release. The second week is like, oh my God, what is that release creating space for? What is coming in now? And then it's like, okay, how am I going to move forward in my like actual external life with all that just came in and all that I learned from what I had taken internally and reflected on. And then Mercury enters Sag on the 17th. This might honestly cause a little bit of more aggression with like communication. Really during Mercury and Sagittarius, really be just watch yourself and what you say. Because Mercury and Sag has the energy of like putting its foot in its damn mouth and maybe saying some things that might dampen some feelings or might cause some emotional reactivity or emotional aggression. Conflicts and relationships are maybe kind of just something to watch out for when it comes to like communication during this time. But I feel like too, again, we're just going to have this more adventurous spirit. We're going to have this more like, oh my God, fun. Like Scorpio is like, okay, transformation, reflection, internal reflection, transformation, change. And then Sagittarius is like, let's freaking go. Like we did all the work. Now it's time to celebrate. Like, let's go and see some people and see some places and like put ourselves out there and just like go on a spontaneous adventure is what like towards the end of November feels like. So a lot of us are going to be traveling to new places, maybe visiting family, things like that for Thanksgiving, as we're gearing into the holiday season, starting with today, right, with Halloween. And then on the 22nd, we have the sun entering Sagittarius, which will just kind of ramp up that adventurous energy. And then on the 23rd, Jupiter stations direct, which will be an externalization of everything that Jupiter has been teaching us since it went retrograde. When did Jupiter go retrograde? Why can't I recall things right now? I'm usually so good at like having this stuff memorized. I don't know, but when Jupiter from I think it was the summer. Was it the summer when Jupiter went retrograde? Or like August? Oh my gosh, I don't know off the top of my head. But Jupiter will not be retrograde anymore the end of this month, right before Thanksgiving, actually. So that is just going to amplify all these miracles that I've been speaking to and all these just opportunities and unexpected and sudden things that are coming in. Jupiter is the planet of abundance. It's also the planet of instant gratification. I talked about this on my Saturn video that I did recently because some of you all on my TikTok were asking about Saturn return. And so I did a video talking about how Saturn return isn't a bad thing. It's about building a solid foundation for yourself. Jupiter is more like, we got it, we're going to use it, we're going to spend it all. Woo! Like gambling energy, like instant gratification energy, like something goes viral and it reaches 1 million people overnight, but then like nothing came from that. You only gained like 100 followers, you know, been there. That's Jupiter energy. But Saturn is like, do, stay disciplined, stay committed, build. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, you're like, oh my God, I'm really successful because I just kept pushing. I just kept going. I stayed consistent and committed to what I was doing. And now all of a sudden it's become this huge thing because I built a solid foundation. That's Saturn. It's like long-term rewards for long-term work and discipline and commitment and growth. Is really, as long as you're committed to your process and your growth, like everything you've wanted is going to come to you. Otherwise you wouldn't want it. What you want is meant for you. Otherwise you literally would not want it. You'd want something else that was meant for you. It's just such a trip to look up and see me in costume. Oh my gosh, I love it. It's so fun. Okay. Lots of healing, it feels like, too, this month. Like that will maybe be kind of like in the background since Chiron is retrograde still. And I don't know when Chiron goes direct because I don't think this planner, it's like the little things that this planner doesn't have. But I think in the next year's planner, I think they have more Chiron and node stuff than they did in this year's. They're always updating it, which I love too. Like they're always adding more and more. Like they have this like botanical section that they added that's like tells you the best plants and like herbalism support for each zodiac sign, which is really cool. And then too, something that's really cool about November is we don't have a lot of extra long void of course moons, which is good for emotional authorities, projectors, and reflectors. So there's going to be a lot more clarity this month. There's going to be a lot more forward momentum. Even though Mars is retrograde, there's still going to be just like things that solidify, things that we get clear around, and things that we are starting to take action towards building. Like I said, more of a long-term thing. Like there might not be instant gratification around what we're starting to take action towards now, but that doesn't mean it's not going to have big term payoffs in the big long-term payoffs in the future. Yeah, I feel like that's all I have for you guys this month. I mean, there's really not a whole lot of like crazy things like 8 planets going retrograde like we've had in previous months. or anything like that, which is good. And then, like I said, I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to base this on how many donations I get. So if you guys want me to do a horoscope for November for each rising sign, send a little donation, whether it's like $1, $5, however much you feel called to and can afford to send, which is relative, I understand. But I will base it off that. If I get, say, like $20 to $30 in donations, I'll do a in-depth horoscope for November for each sign. And like I said, I really want to, like, because I've mostly just done it like flying off the seat of my coattails and on here live when it's just been like, okay, what do I see like right here, right now? But I want to put a lot more energy into it. I want to research and really give you guys some more specifics and more targeted messages based on your zodiac sign, looking at, you know, just having more time to look at the chart and pull some messages for you based on your rising sign versus just me doing it live and like on the fly. So I really want to put more time and energy into it. So like I said, if I get a certain amount of donations, I will do that sometime this week. So look forward to that. And yeah, I love you all. I will check the comments. Honestly, I'll be surprised if there's anyone watching live because it's Halloween night. But hey, I'm here on Halloween night. I don't have much of a life other than this. Oh, hey, Ariana. As a Scorpio sun, there's never a break. I'm for real, like transformation all day, every day. Yeah, your birthday's Monday. Happy birthday! Right before the full moon. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so glad, Natasha. I do podcasts. I do. I put these on my podcast, and then I also like do educational podcast episodes here and there. So find me on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to podcasts. I have a lot of content on my podcast too on how to understand like the basics of astrology and human design. I have a podcast on Saturn that walks through each of the 12 different Saturn placements that you can learn a lot about like what Saturn has come to teach you in this life from that podcast. And then what are some other ones I did? I have a lot. I have actually, Ariana, I know you're just on my TikTok live and you just found out you're a manifesting generator. I have a podcast episode for manifesting generators that I did. And I also have the 4323 channel. Woo, woo. I feel like we probably have a lot of common placements. Ariana, that's so fun. Ooh, I love it. Amazing. Well, yes, this will be posted to my podcast. And yeah, I'm literally everywhere. I mean, in true manifesting generator fashion, like I am everywhere. I'm on Pinterest. I have a podcast. I'm on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. I don't really do much on Facebook, but I have things that just get posted there. My blog has a lot of content. My membership site has a lot of classes on human design and astrology. Where else am I? I feel like I'm somewhere else that I can't remember right now. But yeah, I literally have things everywhere. Because I'm Saturning this. I am building something that's going to be huge and long lasting to teach you all astrology and human design. Because that is really my goal, is to empower you all to know how to, because really it's like, it's the most easily accessible form of guidance anyone can have. You, anywhere in the world you are, you don't even really need internet most of the time to pull up your chart. You just need like a smartphone and to have the app downloaded on your phone of like that calculates your chart for you, or have it printed out and you can reference it at any time. And if you know how to read it, if you know how to understand it, that is your easiest and most accessible form of guidance and form of understanding and form of like, okay, why is this happening for me right now? Why do I feel so like emotional today? Oh, that's because the moon is in my whatever, you know, it's like, if you know how to use these systems, they can be so empowering and so helpful for you on your journey. not only to understand yourself, but like I said, understand why things happen for you at certain times, and also what you have to look forward to. You can use it as a prediction tool as well. So yeah, that is my mission, is to educate you all on how to use these systems, to learn them yourself, and to really simplify them, because they don't have to be so complex and overwhelming. And there's some really just key things, if you understand about these systems, that you can really have a solid foundation of knowledge and be able to use them really easily. So that is my mission. That's why I do what I do, is to educate you all on how to use these systems and be your own astrologer and human design guide, because it's not sustainable and not always economical to rely on someone to read your chart for you all the time. So if you know how to do it yourself, life is easier and life is more fun. So yeah, I love you all so much. I appreciate you so much for being here. I appreciate you for your donations. They mean so much to me. And yeah, check it out, Natasha. I will see you guys in the next video. Happy Halloween. Bye.